Welcome to Roaming with Restless Women, real talk with wise, dynamic women leaders. I'm your host, Julie Noonan, CEO and founder of Intuitive Wisdom Coaching, and I'm living my dream life. I live and work in my RV, coaching senior women leaders as they navigate corporate politics, family drama, and personal goals to live their own dream lives. These women are restless. They are never done seeking new opportunities, learning, and creating value in the world. If you'd like to apply to be on the show, stick around to the end and I'll let you know how. Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to Roaming with Restless Women. If it's afternoon or evening where you are, good afternoon or good evening. Today I have with me Rachel Phillips. Rachel is the founder and CEO of Fully Accountable, an outsourced full-service cutting-edge accounting firm that provides fractional CFO and accounting services to e-commerce and digital business owners. At Fully Accountable, Rachel helps thousands of digital company owners double their profit margins. We need to talk, lady. As an entrepreneur, she relishes working with founders to help them understand their financial health and make strategic decisions to move their businesses forward. An attorney by trade, she's been with Fully Accountable since its inception and closed its first client. She identified an opportunity to show businesses how to scale and partnered with Vinny Fisher and Chris Giorgio to start Fully Accountable in 2014. So it's been in existence for 10 years. Congratulations.
10 years. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Today, the company has grown to a 50 plus person team, and with over 100 clients, ranging from 2 to 10 million in annual revenue. As CEO, she derives joy from nurturing high performance through team building, training, and work culture development. Her specialties lie in business intelligence, corporate finance, tax, and internet law, and entrepreneurship. So welcome. I'm glad to have you on the show, Rachel.
Thank you so much for having me, Julie. I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, that's great. I'm just thrilled to have you. It's very often that women get left out of financial discussions, and so I'm glad to have you here to help us navigate that.
Yeah, and I even have found, as we talk about it, but even women are just left out of the accounting and finance field in general. And so I'm glad that we're helping make a difference there.
Absolutely. And if they are in accounting and finance, they're more likely to be on the accounting side as opposed to the strategic finance side. Yeah. So what is the most important aspect about your career? So for instance, what value do you hold that kind of floats through your whole life, all of your career journey, not just the most recent?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it's what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with. And so for me, it's more important that I'm proud of the team that I'm building and who I'm doing it with than being able to say that I made $1 million or I was on some cutting edge thing. I want to be with good people who want to do good work and make a difference in the world. And so I want to be surrounded by them. And that's what I want to be a part of. And so I foster that culture here.
Absolutely. It's so important. It's so important. I think culture gets a backseat a lot of times. And I think it definitely since COVID, I've seen a great uptick in the amount of companies that really feel like that the culture is really the driving factor in what they provide to their clients.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Um, let's see here. What's the most challenging thing that you have found about A, being an entrepreneur, and then B, being a senior woman leader?
Yeah. So the number one thing about being an entrepreneur, I think that's been a challenge is I've always believed I'm my best risk to take. So I'd rather take a risk on myself than a risk on somebody else. But then I'm asking a bunch of people to take a risk on me. And so if I think I'm the best risk, how am I not telling you you're not also the best risk? So just balancing the believe in me, follow where we're going. I know what we can do together. I think is the hardest part because when you first start something entrepreneurial, you want a lot of entrepreneurial minded people, but that can often mean a lot of leaders in one room. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
Getting the right people together, I think, is always the first challenge of being an entrepreneur.
You're
Um,
exactly right.
yeah, and I think for me, everything always comes back to people. We do so much in accounting here, but really our best asset are people, and you can't put that on a balance sheet. And so building that asset of your team is a game changer for companies that spending more time in training and development and investment in culture really can make a huge difference in your company without a lot of financial investment. It's just your time. And so that's where I'm always encouraging people is go invest in your team. They're your best asset, and then let them do the good work for the people.
And the thing about it is, it would be really great if we could actually have a formula or something that would put the
Yes.
value
Hmm.
of your workforce on your
Yes.
balance sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and like the number of times that I'll be in a merger and acquisition where somebody's buying or selling a company, and they either take a large financial hit because key team members aren't playing, but it's like, where is that on the financial? We aren't recording. Like, if they stay, are we getting a financial boost from it? It's like,
Right.
no, but that's just a liability. And so, again, my biggest thing is just investing in your people and how can you continue to grow that, to keep building on your vision and your mission.
And so, what have you found is the hardest thing for you as a senior woman leader?
Yeah, as a senior woman leader, so when I started, I actually, with the two men that I started fully accountable with, I actually started as the intern. And so part of what I had found was difficult at times were when other senior leaders, one time a man had said to me, I've been doing this job longer than you've been alive. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
that might be true. And so you have a perspective and a set of skills that I don't. But I also have a perspective and a set of skills that I think, when brought together, actually create a better solution for us to the problem that we have than
Mhm.
just going with the old school way. And so one of it has been just being a woman in a field that does not have a lot of female representation, um, coupled with having been younger at the beginning of my career, in more of a leadership position and fighting appropriately for where we needed to innovate and be on more of the cutting edge side versus just continuing what has always worked because that's been the path of accounting and finance previously.
Right. Well, and the problem with accounting and finance is that you are highly regulated as well.
Yes, exactly.
So there really are some things that you can't do
Absolutely.
historically, and to be able to be innovative in that field. Talk to me a little bit about how you approach being innovative, how you come up with your new ideas.
Yeah, so a lot of innovation for us, especially in the finance field, is all around technology right now. So,
Yeah.
what can we be doing to be getting better data more quickly and deliver objective reporting efficiently? If you're able to do that at a very high level, you're equipping, be it your business owner, your client, the team member that needs that report with their roadmap to go make decisions. To be still pulling all of the data, manipulating it in CSVs, using Excel spreadsheets is really phasing out. There's so much you can be doing with data warehousing and
Yep.
APIs that can eliminate so much of that for you, that if you aren't going there, you're really going to be left behind because you're going to be doing everything manually still. And it just takes so much time to do in comparison.
Correct. And I think one thing that I think about when I think about the technology that is influencing all of us, obviously AI,
Yes.
particularly in data collection and analysis, AI and machine learning. Um, One of the things that I think about too is that the faster we can produce that data, the more commoditized our services become. So we
Mhm.
have to step up
Yes.
to another level because
Mhm.
the computer can now tell you the basics. The computer can actually tell you a little bit more than the basics
Yeah.
at this
And it
point.
can give you feedback and insights to that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how have you found uh, dealing with that as, as accounting becomes more of a
Mhm.
commodity?
Yeah.
You can't charge as high prices, so how are you finding the way to be ahead of that and to offer real solutions? I mean,
Yeah. So one of the things that AI and machine learning can't do yet is come up with a strategy for you.
yeah.
So it can tell you, it can read the data and tell you what's going on, but it then can't take it and solve your problem for the future. And so at Fully, one of the things we've really focused on is how can we use that data because we can get it so much more quickly now that you can change course, pivot, course correct, and strategize for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And so that's where we really focus. Let's get the data, interpret what's happened, but spend all of our time on the future and what we're doing to change it for the go forward, which means rather than the old days where you would be 2 3 months out from a financial, you were looking at the past quarter. We're now looking at things 8 to 15 days after the close of the month and fixing it before you even finish that month. So you're so much more quickly able to implement.
Mhm.
That's how we stay. That's how we use all of that to our benefit, but then also differentiate ourselves from it.
This episode is sponsored by me. So, as a special gift to you, our listeners, I offer a free one-on-one 15-minute breakthrough session. Bring a problem and an experience how coaching works to see if it could be of value to you. Sign up for an available time on my website, intuitivewisdomcoach.com.
So when you hear someone come to you and say, I want to create a 5-year strategy, what's your reaction?
Yeah, so I always say I love that you are thinking about 5 years. Let's start with year one and then break it down month by month. So give me where you really want to be in 5 years and let's backtrack it. But let's really focus on small, achievable, digestible nuggets of time because somewhere in 5 years, something's going to do something that's going to make that change. Like we would have never predicted COVID, right?
No.
And so
Well, we
everybody,
did, but nobody
but
listened.
yeah, right, yeah. Everybody's 5 year plan
Mhm.
could not have gone to plan, right? And so how
Right.
do we learn to pivot when those types of things happen? Um, and then just really stay on the course for the smaller chunks of time. Because as you do that, you will keep creating bits and pieces of your plan along the way.
I thought immediately about the wildfires in
Hmm.
California right now.
Right.
If one of your clients was in that part of the country, lost
Mhm.
their bricks and mortar, lost, a lot of their workforce for probably at least a month, 2 months before they could actually truly focus and produce, what kind of advice would you be giving them right now?
I would be looking at what can we control? What can we
Hmm.
be in charge of? And what can we actually get done? Right. So the rest of it we'll figure out, right? So you now have a sales team that can't go into the office. Can they work remotely? No, they're too stressed. Fine. Are there other marketing channels we can be investing in right now to keep pieces and parts moving forward?
Hmm.
My thing is handle what you can control. What you can't, let's just put to the side. And if it's breaking the business, then we need to go and figure out why that uncontrollable is breaking the business and move it into a control bucket. And it might not look the same, right? Maybe the sales team can't work and we need to do a lot of marketing or we need to do
Hmm.
podcasts and email. There are so many other things you can do, but let's just focus on what we can do and not dwell on what we can't do.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, based on what we talked about earlier, take care of your people,
Yes, right.
and demonstrate your culture through this trying time. I mean, I think there are opportunities and disasters that certainly you're not going to see immediately. You're in shock. You're,
Oh, sure.
freaking out. To put it mildly, if that happened to me, I would freak out. But that those things are going to continue to happen.
Well, and I think as a leader, your people respond how you respond. And so
Absolutely.
the responsibility that you have, like you also get your moment to be scared and freak
Oh,
out, but Your job is also to remind them that you have their back and we will get through this. And today might not be a great day, but there will be a great day in the future. And so stick together and we will get to that great day together.
Right. Because the worst thing that you can do is look at someone and say, pull up your big girl pants and let's go. They're
Right,
not ready,
right, right.
And so, yeah.
And a lot of times we've not asked them to have big girl pants, right? We've
Right.
been asked to have the big girl pants.
Right. You're exactly right. That's perfect. So I want to go back to what do you feel like is your biggest challenge that you have faced, either personally or professionally, in your career journey the last 10 years with the
Yeah.
company?
So for me, my personal mission, specifically in the accounting and finance field, has been to provide jobs and opportunities for women that would not get to have them in this field. Primarily because up until COVID, it has been a in-office position. It has
Yeah,
been one that with demanding hours, and it didn't allow for mom to be both mom and a professional. So here, my entire belief has been equipping the best people to do the job. And what I have found is most of these jobs are filled by high performing women that because of children or location have not had the opportunity to do those roles. And so for me, it's been one, just breaking down the barrier of with people that women can do this job. And oftentimes they are the harder working gender when it comes to the role. And then two is that in a time where uh, culture of the world can be very flip-floppy, very cancel, just not being afraid to stand up for what I believe in. So I had two, now one male business partner. At times it would be like, well, let's calm down the female talk and be like, no, I'm proud of what we do. I'm proud of the people that we hire, and I'm proud of like what we're continuing to build. Our company's 76% female based. Leadership is over two-thirds female. And so, like I said, I talk about that proudly. I'm not, some people might not be on board with that, and that's okay, but there's going to be 10 people behind them that are super excited about it. And so for me,
absolutely.
just continuing to build that culture for women in a place that hasn't been and kind of rethinking who can do the job for you has been probably one of the biggest challenges that we've overcome.
Yeah. Now, so how has this impacted you personally
Yeah.
as opposed to in your career?
Yeah. So for me personally, I went through a very long infertility journey. And
Mm,
during that time, the one thing that kept me going was like, if not me, who will provide these women jobs? Because if Julie can't put kids on the bus and go to their soccer game, then who's going to be watching Mike at the soccer game? And so for me, it was like, if I'm not pouring into my children, I'm going to be pouring in to all of their children by providing these opportunities. And so it's been very rewarding for me.
that's great. Well, and kudos to you for going through uh, that infertility journey. I personally did not have to go through that. Very, I was blessed, but
Mhm.
I do have friends and family members who've been through, and
Yeah.
it's not an easy journey at
No,
all,
yeah.
at
Thank
all.
you.
And with the uncertainty and, it's
Sure.
a long journey, a long mental journey as well as physical journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. So, um, tell me a little bit more about your particular offerings at your
Yeah.
organization and how women can get a hold of you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a complete outsourced accounting and finance department. So think of us as everything from your accountant, controller, bookkeeper, CFO, and everything we do is custom packaged to you and your business. So you need a CFO, but you have a wonderful bookkeeper, we'll find a solution that works for you. You have a great CFO who's completely overwhelmed having to do the day-to-day accounting. We'll backfill the controller work so that you can equip your CFO to be the best version of themselves for you, for your company. Everything we do is in real time. So rather than doing month-end financials, we're keeping things up to date for you throughout the month, which can give you a really good pulse on your finances at any one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, you can always reach me one of two ways or several ways. One, you can reach me by email at rachel@fullyaccountable.com, or you can reach me on LinkedIn, Rachel Phillips. I'm very active and responsive over there as well.
That sounds great. I have three final questions that I do with every
Yeah.
every person. And
Okay.
so the first one is a little strange, but play along with me. Close your
Okay.
eyes.
Okay.
All right. And I would like for you to describe the picture that appears when I say wise woman, and open your
Mm,
eyes and share that picture with us.
yeah. So it's going to be the one right back here on my wall. It's going to be Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I think
Yeah,
she has been her story is not told always as we think it should because we remember the last few bits of her life. But if you really go back and read her story on how she went to law school for both herself and her husband and then raised a family, she was added to the Supreme Court later in life and then made such a history for women. That's what I think of when I think of a wise woman.
absolutely. I would 100% agree with you there. I have a little Christmas ornament of her bust, her
Oh,
head.
yes. Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it. Okay, so where do you like to roam?
Oh, so for me, my husband and I love to go to Key West together.
Oh,
We
it's my
went there.
favorite.
Yes. We went there very early on when we had started dating, as a little trip. And then we have some friends who fell in love with it too, and my cousin and her husband. So it, excuse me, it's turned into a fun little annual long weekend trip we take each year. And
Oh,
it's something that we have to look forward to all the time.
absolutely. Well, you can probably see one of my signs up here, but it says I have three.
Okay.
Everywhere we've lived, it says Nashville to Key West, and it
Okay.
has the number of miles. And
Oh,
then
cool.
Orlando and Charlotte, all three of those places where we've lived. So it has
Oh,
that.
fun.
But that's where my husband and I honeymooned, and that's our go-to spot for when we just need time,
Yep,
to chill out and be together.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
love that.
awesome. And what makes you restless in a good way?
Oh, what makes me restless in a good way? Oh my gosh. Probably I just get in a good way, like what's next? Like what are we gonna do next? What's coming? Um, I think that is just it can be so exciting, especially when you have your own business. I've got a really good team that sometimes I want to go a little bit faster. Sometimes I've got too many ideas, but it's all restless in a good way for me.
Absolutely. Well, as we in our 60s like to say, we're not done yet.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is it's really it's a blessing when you can be as experienced and mature as I am and have had the career that I've had to be able
Yep.
to be an entrepreneur at the end of it and really, really adopt all of the good stuff that's coming as well as the stuff that I know and
Oh, I
interact with
bet.
people like yourself who are still in that early growing that, growing the business stage and having all these cool ideas. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm. Well, we'll make sure to get all of the links that you mentioned into the
Okay,
show notes. And
super.
thank you so, so much for being on the podcast today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it was such an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Julie Noonan here. Thank you so much for listening to Roaming with Restless Women. If you're a successful senior woman leader who would like to be on this program, please visit podcast.intuitivewisdomcoach.com. If you enjoyed this interview, please share this episode on social media and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Your thumbs ups and reviews go a long way.